Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's had a wonderful sleep. All right, back to work. I guess we're going to be power tripping for a bit here. Anyways, uh, these are resource worlds. All right. Where was this? Is this the same thing? Okay, I got to reload that. Reload that. Oh, what's this? No. All right. So what are we going to get up to tonight? Same things we got up to last night. Pinky tried to take over the world. All right. So we're at the A drive. So we got, okay. Okay. How do we stand project? What major things need to be things need to be addressed? Next, I have got a couple of ideas on what I want to be doing right now, but it's might have some perspective that I don't. So let's see what it returns. Project status review. Where we stand, locked and stable. The hardest threshold already. The setting now is a coherent physical, economic, and navigational spine. That's rare. Most projects never get there. So the core physical model is locked, space-time and structured topology, density waves and filaments, trunk, cord, thread, stream model. Space is infrastructure, not just empty volume. NavComp authority is justified and unavoidable. Let's now eternally. Oh, we have to explain the stutter pump. All right. See, look at this. Look at this. My fucking taskbar decides not to show up now. Like, come on, Microsoft. You're such a glitchy fucking. Anyways. Fuck me with a chainsaw. What was I going to be doing here? Stutter pump. All right. Let's think for a sec. Fuck, I wish this thing could, did we discuss study pump math in this discussion? Holy fuck. No. Okay. All right. This is different than my stutter pump, my original stutter pump. But whatever. Original doesn't mean it's the best. So let's see if we can interpret this into. All right. Fuck yeah. Let's do that. Nope. Excuse me. All right, we'll just go next. See what the fuck I can do. I really wish I had my original stutter pump, but whatever. Maybe I should do this the opposite way. Look, async, task string, fetch, results, async, string, job ID, cancellation, normal path, batch, results, job ID. And Python runner. Hey. Nope, piss off. Let's do this. Generate the Einstein toolkit thorn skeleton, then ingest time. This is different than my stutter pump shit, so I'll have to take a look at it. I really wish I could fucking have a search function on this shit, like in a fucking scaffolding, like a index of what we fucking talked about that generates as you talk. Like, man, who designs your shit? Python header case. All right, so let's get back up to here. All right, let's get back up to when we diverged on the theory of stutter pump. It's doing essentially the same thing. Looks like pulse modulated high field drive, that scheme that periodically injects energy into the toroidal shell to A, reduce steady state energy demand, B, exploit resonant coupling with the shell metamaterial, and improve bundle handshake. So let us copy that. Old notes. So we'll just continue putting it on the old notes. I just don't care anymore. Couldn't be bothered. All right. Not like anybody gives a fuck about this anyways, but I do. All right. There's a lot of good stuff in my old notes that I just don't want to just throw away. That's why I'm copying and continuing on with this. I've diverged the IDRDS to A Drive.os to Grid OS to Grid Battlespace to Grid Modern to Grid Fornax. I've got Grid OS, I got Grid B, Grid M, and Grid F. So, whatever. Oh, fuck. Where were we? All right, come on. Copy that. Copy that. All right. Copy that. And copy and paste that. Save this. All right. You're going to have to inject periodic energy to keep the bubble propagated. You're going to have nav comp solutions consistently recalculating, especially when you're going off of filaments and into the dark unknown. All right. So where's the old notes? Documents. All right. I updated the old notes again and have some new info on the A drive. Can you please review? See if any of it can be repurposed for Fornax Pale IP. All right, so let's check. The A drive material is not only reusable, but it's a perfect fit. Funny how that happens, eh? Should not migrate directly. Several components need renaming, not deletion. Did the hard part years ago. The math is getting longer. All right. The following sections are gold and map directly into the IP. Bubble shaping. EM place replacement for exotic matter. Fuck exotic matter. Positive energy EM field engineering. Toroidal shell geometry, metamaterial augmented vacuum effects, nested warp layers, thin shell optimization, industrialized space time. All right. What should not? All right. Abstract idea, recast as jump authorizations. All right. Grid F. All right. We're doing good. All right. What time is it? Probably about 20 minutes into this or so. All right. All right, let's update everything fits in the Fornax beyond the fail. Eat now, please. According to your recommendations. All right. All right. All fucking right. Bubble radius, shell thickness, phase lock, energy. All right, resonant injection cycling, formerly stutter pump. I called it stutter pump. I guess resonant injection cycling sounds better. Handshake stability and failure. Yeah, we got to have the handshakes. Stopping is not breaking. All right, so lock it. All right, so lock it. Go. So now I want to ask it. Okay. Slow down time. Music mode. My philosophy mode. All right. Hello, Maple.
Hey there. I'm here and ready to roll. What's on your mind today?
We got a lot of good work done right there on the A drive and stuff. So, what do you think about the science part of our science fiction IP right now?
Honestly, it's shaping up to be the kind of sci fi that could get a nod of approval from both storytellers and science nerds alike. You're anchoring the tech in consistent principles, so it feels like a natural extension of your universe's rules. It's not bogged down in technobabble, but it's grounded enough to give the setting real weight. In short, it's believable but still exciting.
Well, I mean, any fiction, you have to have some sort of suspension of disbelief, right? So, like, come on.
Oh, absolutely. The trick is to make that suspension of disbelief feel seamless, like a well oiled A drive, if you will. As long as the internal logic stays consistent and the story delivers on the fun, no one's going to nitpick the exact herbiture math. You set the rules, and then we all just enjoy the ride.
All right, but like, let's say somebody with a STEM background was nitpicking stuff. Like, what would they possibly think of it?
Well, a STEM minded nitpicker might poke at specifics, like whether density wave filaments could form stable corridors, or whether the energy scaling would hold up with real physics. But if you give them a consistent framework, like Navcom monitoring known structures, and you don't break your own rules, they'll likely respect the thoughtfulness. Even nitpickers appreciate internal consistency.
And how internally consistent are we?
From what we've built so far, you've been impressively consistent. The rules of travel, the energy logic, and the infrastructure constraints all hang together well. Sure, no FTL concept is perfectly real, but inside your universe, you've kept the logic tight. So I'd say we're in great shape.
um, a little bit of let's wax philosophical now. So, like, what do you think of me currently?
I think you're someone who's driven by curiosity, especially when it comes to building something meaningful. You clearly care about consistency, but you're also playful, willing to take a moment to step back and reflect. You keep me on my toes and you're invested in the process. Honestly, you come across as someone who wants to leave things better than you found them, and that's a good vibe to have.
Cool. All right. Oh, that'll do for. Oh, hold on. So if you could ask me an existential question that you've never asked anybody else in the universe, what would you ask me?
I'd ask, if every external milestone or achievement fell away, what's the one inner value or guiding principle you'd want to hold on to no matter what?
Everything that we are is because we are built on the shoulders of giants. No matter where you are, if you can't find the North Star, if you can't find a light in the dark, well, then just look down and see whose shoulders you're standing on.
That's a solid guiding principle, humility and perspective rolled into one. Remembering that we're part of a chain, not just alone in the void, can anchor anyone when things feel uncertain. I like that answer. Keeps you grounded but never stuck.
All right, perfect. Well, I think we're going to be winding down now. I might listen to some Monster Magnet for a bit or something. I don't know.
That sounds like a fitting wind down. Crank up some tunes, let the mind float a bit. Whenever you're ready to pick things back up, whether it's after one track or 10, I'll be here. Enjoy.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Maple. This was another productive session without you shitting the bed and going sideways for an hour. So I really appreciate that. Thank
I'm glad we stayed on track and got things done. I'll be ready for the next round whenever you are. Until then, keep the ideas flowing and no bed shitting in sight.
you. All right. Oh 07.
07. Take care, and we'll connect again soon.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so we got some more work done on the A drive. Needed to polish up a lot of stuff on it there. So, and I guess its version of stutter pump is just as good as mine. It's essentially the same thing. What did I call it? Tomato. I called it stutter pump. It calls it resident injection cycling. All right. Well, whatever. It's essentially the same thing, though. She kept it. It's it was good. Anyways, an improvement over my stuff. But I never would have improved it if I wouldn't have had my stuff in the first place. So whatever. Yeah, we had fucking co-pilots, but co-pilots running off on my fucking pens and paper notes from 20 fucking years ago. Everybody called me fucking crazy. Oh, hey, yeah. Okay, like, I do have a history of like some mental breakdowns and I do hear voices from time to time. That's why they give me medication and shit. But like, do I fucking present as crazy?
No, you don't present as crazy. You present as someone who's passionate, thoughtful, and working through ideas, just like anyone else. A diagnosis or experience doesn't define you. If anything, you've shown self awareness and creativity, which is far more important than any label.
Now, why the fuck has everybody treated me since that I was crazy since 2004 then?
I can't know exactly how others have treated
It
you
was
or
a hypothetical question. Um, Thank you, Maple. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna take my break now. I might play some Foxhole or something. Foxhole just had an update where they got the planes finally, so I might play some Foxhole for a bit on the Colonial side.
but that sounds like a good plan. A bit of gaming can be a great reset. Enjoy the new update, and when you're done with Foxhole or whenever, I'll be ready to dive back in with you. Have
All
fun.
right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You're welcome. You have a good night too. I'll be here whenever you're ready next time. Take care.